Oh, it's kind of dark in here again. Hold on. Yeah. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Try that. All right. Hello. Can you hear me? Uh, let me let me try this. Trying to check if I can hear myself. Testing, testing. Check. I like your hair. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I like it too. Um, so yeah. Uh, sorry, my phone's still going off uh from the uh from the from the Facebook live stream. So okay. Oh, oh. Hey Bree. So silly. Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, I was just trying to wait for about a few more minutes to see how many other people will come in. Um, but yeah, so um hello. All right, let me just pretend I'm not here. Ah. Maybe I should put the blinds all the way up because, like, the light is just like, hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, uh, oh, it's just cloudy day. Okay, well, damn. Well, uh, yeah, it's just a cloudy day. It's just a cloudy day. So the light's not coming. Oh, okay, the light's coming in a bit better now. Okay, so yeah. Oh wow, four people. Jesus Christ. All right, so people are coming in. Thank you for coming into the stream. Um, the son has autism. Ah, oh my god. I can't. But so yeah. Uh welcome to Strive Sundays. So we are Strive, we are a socialist trans activist organization. So what we do is we're not a 501c3, which means that we're not like a government we're not I'm trying to think of how to explain it. uh, Getting a 510c3 would mean like you are not beholden to the government, but like they can definitely kind of a little bit anyway, and kind of tailor your message to, especially if you're trying to promote certain things. So we don't have any of that. Some organizations do. Yes, the C. Anyway, so our organization uh, is not that. So what we do is we take donations from just the people through like Cash App or PayPal, and what those funds go to is like queer and trans people who may need help with like transportation or clothes or medicine through like HRT, which is like hormone replacement therapy. Also, we try to, if we can, we try to help house um, homeless queer and trans people, which unfortunately it happens a lot. So we used to do it through hotels, but obviously the hotel situation now is it's kind of hard because you need now to have a credit card that goes through that hotel. So now that credit card has to be on file, which back in the day it didn't need to be. You could just pay per night just with anything. But anyway, so what we try to do is try to house people um, within people that we know. We try to vet both the person that is being housed and the person that's housing. So we try to make sure that they are safe. um, at least for the little time to being that the person that can house them, while we try to help with the food and we try to help with anything like that. So, if anything would be like, hey, do you have any allergies to animals or certain foods or anything like that? So we try to help with that. We also have a resource list. Um, so we have a medical resource list. That resource list, it has primary care doctors on it. It has endocrinologists on it. It has therapists on it, psychologists on it. And so at Strive, we try to help out the Gulf Coast in general, but really our main area is the 4 counties on the coast of Florida, on the Panhandle, which is Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. So those are our four. Those are the 4 counties that we try to target because those counties we're the closest to. Obviously, we're in Escambia County, but yeah, we try to help that as well. And so, but if you have any questions, you can ask it on here, or if you can't think of any right now, which often happens to me, you can ask us on Facebook. You can also we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on X, and then we are on. I think I named them all actually. So all 4 of those. Oh, also we have a Discord as well. So if you want to follow, or if you want to join a community that um, has different, uh, we have different channels in it. That's either I'm on Earth anyway. We have different channels um, that like from just we the notes that we go over through our meetings that we have. And there's notes on that. So if you miss a meeting with us, um, then there's that. But then there's also just notes on like, I mean, just channels on memes and funny things, and just general community channels, and then also like group therapy channels for people who just for people who need it. So, but also lastly, our meetings we usually have. Meetings every Wednesday at Black Cafe and Bookstore on MLK Boulevard. It's like right off the highway, of the I-10 highway, I-110 highway, and so you can meet us there every Wednesday at 6, and then we talk. We talk. We usually just try to have a meeting about what we're about to do next. But then after that, we try to like educate as well. So like we had one that was about homelessness. We had one about women's rights and abortion, and the upcoming issues that are going to affect the state of Florida. And we just so on and so forth. So, but as of right now, we are going to go over. So there are not 10 demands. There's actually 8 right now. 8 demands that we at Strive want to go over. I want to try to push forward. Let me see if I can get that up real quick. I swear to God, you better. No, oh wait, no. Oh, okay, there we go. And I'm at the screen share real quick. Let's see. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. Screen share. Okay. No, 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 no. Oh, they're just sharing tablets. Okay, just share the window, entire screen. Let me share the entire screen. God dang it. Okay, well, you know what? Hold on. I'm about to just read these demands out to y'all because I thought I could bring it up um as a thing on here, but it's not allowing me to. Hold on. Oh, you know what I can do? Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Oh, I got it. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll just read them out. So And if you want to see them in like um, in a paper form or just in a form that you can see it, I'll send it to you. But yeah, so the top part says strive demands trans liberation, and then the number one demand is bodily autonomy in all aspects of legal and social life. Um, Obviously, that leans itself towards the abortion issue, and just issues in general about just wanting bodily autonomy of not um, uh, of just wanting yourself to be who you are without discrimination. Funding number two is funding of social programs domestically rather than genocide abroad. Um, that is another one where we're often seeing where they're funding, um, you know, other militaries, or in this case, they're funding the IDF, which is unfortunately um, the Israel Defense Force, but and they're unfortunately committing a genocide in Palestine. But they're not funding education over here, right? And they're not funding housing. They're not funding things that can help the homeless. They're not funding things that can help childcare. As people know, like childcare is like, I mean, daycare is ridiculously overpriced, right? Um, and a lot of parents who may even have the best of intentions who plan to have a child and everything may still not have the time or the money to like be able to just give their kid off to the parents while they are other people in their family while trying to go and do their jobs and stuff. So that's why daycare was very important in the beginning, but like now we're obviously seeing daycare is really, really pricey. So it's kind of hard to do that, which in case you would love it if they would fund, programs like that to help parents and kids be able to, better take care, or parents be able to better take care of the kids. Um, just for an example. Number three is statewide protection for queer and trans people in employment. Um, Often, what happens, we've seen it time and time again. Queer and trans people, they will not be able to have. Uh, they'll go to a job that they either thought um, that they thought that was legitimate for them, or they come out at the job, and that in turn gets them, in trouble. So with the job, so it is a very touch and go thing with. I swear to God, I was trying to screen share this for you guys, but it is not. Hold on, let me see. Let me just let me try this. Oh my God, look at that screen. Did that work? No, it didn't work. Never mind. All right. So let me get out of this and go back. So let me hold on. Yeah, share screen. Yeah. All right, let me try that. Did that work? Oh, it looks like it did. Okay. Okay, looks like y'all seeing that. I think. I hope. Kind of big. All right. So, um, yeah, if you can see that, let me know. But if you can't, um, that's fine. I'll just exit out of it. But because I just shared like the entire window. So, um, So yeah, you have number four, which is the end of the prison industrial complex and the funding to inclusive mental health care, mental health care, food insecurity, and the ending homelessness. So I kind of touched upon a little bit of that with the last one, or the last two. So we talked about the ending of the prison industrial complex. Obviously, that is something that is, it can't be controversial because it's like, where are these prisoners going to go that do these heinous crimes and all that? And I always say, we need to set up a society to where, yeah, there's still going to be people who do things like that. I'm not going to be saying there's never not, but a lot of the stuff could have been prevented with better education and like better um, care for people when they were going through the things they were going through early on. If it would have been, you know, um, at least addressed and talked about early on, you may not have seen that person go to that extent to do the things that they did. Um, and so a lot of people talk about I think it's restorative justice, um, where you often try to rehabilitate a person and talk to them to try to help them see the error of their ways, but also understand that like you can be redeemed. And so I think it's a very controversial, touch and go subject. I'm not the best on that, but um, I just think that it does need to be talked about. So then we also talk about the inclusivity of mental health care, food insecurity, and ending homelessness, which unfortunately those three usually go all together. They often, not having the best mental health also makes you food insecure, especially when you're maybe working a part-time job or even a full-time job and not being able to make enough to like live on. And any homelessness we often see, I mean, I think every country, or sorry, every state in this country, statistically, there's a site, and I have to try to look it up one day, but there's a site that shows you like how much you should be making in each state to be able to live comfortably in like a two-bedroom apartment or something like that. Um, and so for a lot of these places, it's even in Mississippi. I think Mississippi is the lowest income area in the country, like the lowest income area as in like housing, not just financially, but just housing. I think even for them, I think you need to be making like $75,000 a year, something like that, like some 60 to 70 to like really be able to live comfortably. Um, and so it's pretty ridiculous. So this is another thing we're trying to fight for. Um, then you have number five, decriminalization of sex work, HIV, and STIs with access to inclusive, comprehensive sex education for all ages. Um, yes, a lot of times, I remember growing up, sex work used to be really deep. I mean, it's still demonized today, but definitely back in the day, it was even worse. So, it's something that we often stand up for sex workers out there that are trying to provide for themselves just like everybody else. But then also, you talk about HIV, and STIs. So we also talk about that as well, and wanting to have people have better access to healthcare through that, so they're able to better take care of themselves if they do get those sort of diseases. And then also, you know, I think with middle school on up, I think there needs to be a comprehensive sex education, um, or just comprehensive sex education for all ages, like it says here. So I do think that growing up, you get I didn't get abstinence only education like other people did, but there were tons of people who did get that, and it shows statistically the people who just went through abstinence only education, the teen pregnancy rates went higher than the schools who um, did they did just regular sex ed courses. And then also, I think those sex ed courses do need to talk about queer and trans people. And it doesn't have to be an explicit, not a yeah, explicit type of thing. It's just like there are books that talk about just different bodies and different bodies functioning differently, and that different people identify as different things, and that's okay. I forget there was this book that actually talked about it, and it was for it was kind of an elementary school book for it, and there's this story that I always talk about. I can't remember the book's name, but it talked about different bodies and it talked about different genders and things like that. But it also talked about um, not learning to understand like personal space and not wanting to be touched in certain spots. And there was this. I think it was like a 9-year-old girl who like read the book and she had like noticed something about being touched in different spots. And she was like, well, that happens to me. Right. And then she went to her mom and the mom was like, oh, mom was like, dad does that to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she went to the mom and was like, hey, dad does this and this to me. You know, I'm reading this book that this happens and like, you know, daddy's doing this to me. And so they took it to court and, you know, obviously the dad went to jail for obviously, uh, obviously sexual, I forget what you call it, but like, uh, molestation and things like that. But like you know, the judge basically said like there was two heroes today. You know, one's a little girl for coming up and actually being brave enough to talk about it, but also it's the book and the maker of the book who, you know, had that girl not read that, they would have, you know, not known. There's so many people who don't know that they have been sexually assaulted. I think that's the word I was thinking about. Sexually assaulted. They don't know until they get older, and then they hear different words and hear different things that we talked about, and go, "Oh, yeah, that did happen to me." So that is, I think, that is something that often, you know, people think about. It would help with comprehensive sex ed. So I think that's all important. So number six, sorry, number six, into all anti-LGBTQ plus legislation with LGBTQ plus representation in all local and state government. So as we're seeing, hold on, somebody say something. Okay, there's a tissue box. Uh, but yeah, so um, yeah, number six, into anti-LGBTQ plus legislation with LGBTQ representation in all local and state government. So, you know, I live in Florida, so we're in kind of the belly of the beast of us in Texas and I think Tennessee, but we're like in these states where the anti-queer and trans bills are just like utterly ridiculous. And um, DeSantis, who's our some people call him the Satan, but anyway, Ron DeSantis, who is our governor. He has like 2 more years left. I thought he was going to be gone with this election or this time, but no, he has 2 more years because he got elected in 2018. So governors, similar to presidents, do have 4 years they can be elected, and they can get reelected for 4 more years. So yeah, we got 2 more years. Unfortunately, 2026 he'll be gone, but unfortunately, a lot of his policies are probably going to stay. So we're going to have to kind of work on repealing a lot of the damage of what he's done. So, but yeah, we are wanting to end the anti-LGBTQ plus legislation, just because obviously that affects all of us. Not even if you are cis or straight, it still affects you. A lot of times, people, when we, let's say, for example, the bathroom bill issue that was happening in some states still today, but definitely has happened. A lot of people don't understand. Like, if you look masculine and you're going into the women's bathroom, they may question you on that. Like, a lot of people don't know that. They like think like, oh, are you might be a butch lesbian, and then next thing you know, you're getting questioned about going to a women's bathroom, but you are, you know, you're a femme, right? So, and that's just a smaller example of a lot of things. So it's really good to, you know, not only have the legislation be repealed in all these states, but also have some representation so that there'll be people fighting for us on these issues in the government. So that is very important. And then number seven is free and accessible reproductive care on demand without apology. So I think that goes back to number one, really, with the bodily autonomy, being able to have reproductive care on, I was about to say reproductive care on tap. Anyway, with free have on demand. So, uh, you have reproductive care on demand without apology, to be able to have access to things that, because a lot of times people don't understand, a lot of women are people who are non-binary who do need, or anybody who needs reproductive care, it's costly. Is often like, just to be able to take care of themselves, when it comes to uh, taking care for themselves through pregnancy, or trying to not have a pregnancy, is very costly. And so, like, these things need to be available for them to be able to take care of themselves, um, for the betterment of our world and our country, especially. Um, and then the last one is number 8, which is harm reduction, base care for substance abuse and the end of the war on drugs. I think it's supposed to be war of drugs. They put war of drugs, but it's the war on drugs. Um, so yeah, the war on drugs was something that was done back in uh, back in the '80s, but it was before, it was in the Nixon administration. He's kind of started it from that point on, um, but yeah, so a lot of people who, unfortunately, if you go back to number 4 with the mental health, food insecurity, any homelessness, unfortunately, another thing that goes with that is drug abuse or substance abuse. And a lot of times, and even people who are, not homeless or not food insecure, well, not homeless. I'm just to put not homeless. Not homeless are, doing substance abuse stuff, substance abuse and drugs. A lot of times it's for their health. I mean, we see it now with marijuana, and a lot of times people with like back issues or, what's that, fibromyalgia. I'm just gonna call it fibro, and other aches and pains that people do. Like, I used to work at a doctor. I used to work at 2 doctors' offices that provided medical marijuana. And there's so many people, funny enough, so many people who were, you could tell they were on the right. They'd either come in with Trump shirts on or whatever, but they definitely came in and was tired of taking pills, and wanted to do something different. And it's so funny because I'm sure those are the same people who, like 20 years ago, who were, you know, wanting to throw people in jail for doing marijuana, but now they're the ones who are like, "Oh, I need it. There's different forms of it. Oh, I can just take an edible. Oh, okay." Or like a ointment or something like that. So it's just funny how it turns around. I mean, obviously people can change and get educated, but it's just they don't acknowledge that. They just switch over, and you're just like, but anyway. So, um, but yeah, so those are the eight demands that we at Strive want to work on, and to better our communities, local, state, um, with. And that is something that I think we can all work towards. Like I said, if you want this, we can send it to you. Email, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, X Messenger, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, so that is for that. And then let me get out of the screen share. That was wild. Um, so I got, like, I'm gonna go over one story today. It's on. Oh, my bad. There we go. It is on them.com. So them.com is a site for queer and trans people. It has a lot of queer and trans news on it. Um, and it's just very good. Like, if you want to read up on, anything from like political news to celebrity news to anything like that, um, and just culture and things like that. It's a very good basic site to go to. I'd rather go there than go to like the bigger news sites, 'cause a lot of them are they'll sensationalize our issues, or they'll, like in Fox News's case, they'll go over the fucking top. So, um, like they Fox News just had a thing about this track runner who is trans that happened to win a track meet, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, good for them. They won. Okay, great. But you know, they only care about women's. sports issues when it comes to that, but they don't care about women's sports issues when women were trying to promote their leagues and things. Anyway, so um, but yeah, oop, let me do that. But yeah, so let me get you to this story here. I'm gonna have to. You don't add to that stage. Okay, let me screen share again. Uh, There it is. Okay, so I'm glad this story came up because as a librarian, this is very cool to see. Um, but yeah, so like I said, them.com has this, and then also forgot to mention if you're watching this on Facebook, um, it does have uh, what you call it, closed captions. So it has captions going across it. So if you are not able to, um, if you need to read what I'm saying as well as hear what I'm saying, for Twitch and YouTube, I'm not so sure, but we try to. Okay, I thought I turned it off. We try to be accessible as much as we can because I know people like watching movies and TV shows with the closed captions. So we try our best to make sure that people are we're accessible as much as we can. So that's I forgot to mention that. So this story is seven queer Eisner nominated comic books and graphic novels you should read. These acclaimed LGBTQ plus books that are just begging to be on your bookshelf. Um, so these are just some trying to think. These are just some books that they're offering for you to read. I've seen these at the my libraries here in the Scambia. I don't work in the Scambia libraries. I work in the Santa Rosa ones, which is the county um, um, across or the county next to ours. Uh, but I've seen a lot of these books, and I'm hopefully going to get to read some of these myself. Uh, and let's just take a look at some of the ones that are offering. So you have Roaming by Jillian and Mariko Tamaki. Um, this one's more of an adult graphic novel. So it's just in the adult section. That's what it means. It's not like adult as in like graphic, but like adult as in like it's just for older, um, just for adults. Anyway, so the Tamaki cousins. Oh, let me make this bigger for y'all, like the words and everything, so y'all can see. Wee, that's too big. But and I'll highlight the beginning part of what I'm reading, so you can see. But you can see the cover there. Um, and the kid, this ads anyway. Nope, go somewhere. Yep. Oh my god. Anyway, you can see the ads there. So let me highlight this part, and then this is what I'm starting to read at. So um, the Tamaki cousins who spoke to them about their latest graphic novel last year are no stranger to the Eisner Awards, nor creating incredible. Actually, hold on. Let's do something first, real quick. Let me look up what the Eisner Awards is, so we can kind of get what that is. Actually, okay. Has to do with San Diego Comic Con, la, 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 or it's a part of San Diego Comic Con. Okay, so Comic Con, I have something on here, but I'm just gonna read it from the side. Comic Con's proud to announce the nominees for the Will Eisner Comic Industries Award 2024. The nominations are for works published in between January 1st and December 31st, 2023, were chosen by a blue ribbon panel of judges. So this is I guess, just an award for just people who write comics and graphic novels. Um, so I just wanted to let y'all know about that, so we can kind of get to know like what. what that exactly is. So let me go back. Okay. So the Damaki cousins who spoke up to them about their latest graphic novel last year are no stranger either to Eisner Awards, nor creating incredible comic art together. Roaming, the duo's third collaborative graphic novel, also nominated for a Lambda Literary Award this year, follows a trio of freshmen on their first adult trip to New York City and their messy queer journeys of self discovery that follow. Both creators are also individually nominated for the Best Writer and Penciler Inkler this year. The following wins in 2018 and 2019 for Jill Tamaki's Boundless and Maria Tamaki's the Mariko Tamaki's um, Laura Dean keeps breaking up with me. Actually, what? I'm reading that right now. I think if you could see it, hold on, let me see if I can see it. Yeah, I'm reading that right now. Looks like this. Laura Dean keeps breaking up with me. So actually, the book I'm reading right now. But anyway, so and then so we have Clementine, another book that's in the Escambia County Libraries. I just saw it. It's book two, but there's a book one. I have to read that one first. But anyway, so Clementine by Tilly Walden. Became one of the youngest Eisner Award winners ever in 2018 when she wrote the best reality-based work trophy for her graphic memoir, Spinning, which explored her traumatic teen experience and as an early lesbian love in the grueling context of competitive figure skating. After winning a second trophy in 2020 for her graphic novel, Are You Listening? Walden is nominated once again this year for the Best Writer slash Artist for Clementine, Book Two, the second part of a trilogy set in The Walking Dead's zombie apocalypse, starring the titular bisexual character from the Telltale games and the Walking Dead game series. The series' first installment is also nominated for publication for teens. So that's another one you could check out. Actually, let me put this in the comment section for y'all. You have to do that so you can read this too, or you can look over it yourself as well. There you go. Why do oh it went into everybody? Okay, and then let me go back. All right, and you have Matchmaker by Cam Marshall. Let's go here. As a big time webcomics enthusiast, I was personally delighted to see an indie darling Matchmaker show up this year's Eisner Noms nomination, alongside the heavy hitters of Rachel Simthis, Laura Olympus. Um, Matchmaker followed a group of early 20s queer friends as they attempt to find love, survived the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, and beat and finally beat Elder Ring. Fans of the heartfelt slice of life comics like Azumanaga, there we go. Azumanaga Daho, I think it's Daho. We'll want to pick this one up, especially if you ever need a crash course on Zoomer humor, which is funny to say. Zoomer humor. Wow. If you need a crash course in Zoomer humor, technically the comic's final chapter is specifically nominated, but the publisher Silver Sprocket has collected the entire comic, plus news strips and art by Marshall in its print edition. So that's a good one. If it comes into the library, I probably will read it. It looks really good, Matchmaker. I like it. I think Bree will like the name of this one, or somebody will like the name of this one. I totally forgot this was a thing, but it's called Pee Pee Poo Poo by Caroline Cash. I will say it again. Pee Pee Poo Poo by Caroline Cash. I don't know why they named it this. I don't know why. Anyway, um, it's insane. Anyway, also, let me highlight what I was about to read. Okay. Also published by Silver Sprocket Cash's Ignance award-winning series Pee Pee Poo Poo, referencing everyone's favorite human waste internet theme, riffs on aesthetics from previous generations of underground cartoonists like Daniel Clovis, Charles Burns, and R. Crumb. The result is akin to a one-woman version of Harvey Pinkar's a iconic sorry, anthology series, American Splendor, with Cass serving as her own rotating cast of artists as she slips between genres and styles. For the discerning fan, Silver Sprocket also sells accompanying sets of sticker sheets. All readers may vibe with the Clean Your Bong set. So I'm guessing this is very, very much over the top, comedic, you know, funniness there. So, and then we have Eden 2 by Kay Roten. Roten, who has, let me highlight again. Roten, who has also created original art for Them magazine, released their over 450-page magnum opus last year to critical acclaim. uh, Exploring what it means to create art in an ever more isolating digital consumer culture. This is familiar groundwork for readers of Rodin's past work like Cannonball, but their penchant for esotericism and dream narratives is on full display in Eden 2, which pits two creators of an immersive online game against each other as the barriers between the fiction and reality break down. Those who like their comics big, weird, and thoughtful should have plenty to chew on, and this nominee for Best Graphic Album. So that's another good one. Eden 2, Electric Boogaloo. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, and then we have A Boy Named Rose by, oh man, Gale, Gale, Gin, Ginlair, and then it is translated by Fabrice Spyolski. So I'm sure the Europeans in the chat are gonna be like, "Oh, you got the name wrong. You did the name." I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I probably butchered those names. Um, so let me, and then it says originally published in French as Les Jardins, Paris Guillier's historic romance centers on the imponious Rose, a gender fluid 19-year-old who longs to join his mother and found family on stage as a cabaret dancer. As Rose meets and falls in love with a man who patronizes Les Jardins, Guillier presents a loving look at queer romance and gender identity during a time and period in Europe when society was prepared to discuss neither. So, another good book. If you love timepieces, and I think that especially people who love timepieces, that'd be a really good one. Um, I think this is the last one. So we have the LGBT Comic Studies Reader, Critical Openings, Future Directions, edited by Allison Halsall and Jonathan Warren. Let me see. Okay. For those ultra nerds who go beyond reading comics into academic theory about comics, e.g., myself, Halsall and Warren's anthology, which is already confirmed as the best winner, excuse me, for the best winner, or best academic and scholarly work, features essays by numerous scholars and critics ruminating on the medium and its queer possibilities. In addition to the wide ranging historical research and contemporary criticism. The Tome also reproduces art by influential LGBTQ plus creators going back to the 1960s, including Alison Bechdel, the iconic creator of Phone Home and Dykes to Watch Out For, Jennifer Camper, an underground lesbian cartoonist known for her work series like Gay Comics and Real Girl, and Howard Cruz, author of the landmark civil rights comic Stuck Rubber Baby, who died in 2019. So those are those are all really good books um, that you could check out for this article. I put it in the thing, but it just yeah, also just go to your local library. Support libraries, check them out. You check them out for free. You don't have to buy it on Amazon or anything like that. Um, I would go to your local library and check out their juvenile graphic novel section, their teen graphic novel section, and if they have an adult one, check that one out too. A lot of people kind of, um, some people will not. I think they don't think graphic novels are very um, because it's not a book with just words in it that can help you imagine what you're reading as you're reading it. Um, People kind of not shoo away graphic novels, but they kind of make it lesser than that of a than that of just your regular just books with just words in it. But graphic novels, I think, really have a really interesting dynamic in the fact that if you are a visual learner, it helps you put pictures and words together. Obviously, books with just words in it, I think it that plays a major part, especially when kids are just learning to read. I think for a lot of them, um, let me go back to um, you said you're dyslexic. Yeah, that also doesn't help. But they but I think with graphic novels that helps out. And I think it also helps out people who are dyslexic because there's not as many words to like fumble over. Um, and the mistake for things, where there's a lot more pictures. And I think for a lot of kids, it's a good transition from graphic novels to just word books. But also, I think let me sit up a bit. Anyway, but I think that um, a lot of graphic novels are really helpful and to just putting words and pictures together because in real life that's what happens. Like you go anywhere in life, you're looking at things and you're reading things at the same time. You're looking at a menu at a restaurant, at a fast food restaurant, and you're looking at people moving in the background, right? You're going to your job. There's things in front of you need to read, but there's also people moving you need to talk to. There's things that are happening around you at the same time. So for me, graphic novels are just as important, and they are books that are very, very important to read. It's like watching it, I would deem it to like watching a movie, um, or your favorite TV show, right? But just in book form. A lot of people want to ask what's the difference between comics and graphic novels. There's not much of a difference, but there is a little differences where comics are kind of like, on average, I'd say a comic is kind of like a TV show in a sense, where um it's an occurring, usually comics are usually an occurring thing, like you see Marvel or DC or whatever comic you're looking at. There's usually like a monthly or a few months they'll come out with another one, another one, and another one, a comic. Spider-Man this one, Spider-Man that one, X-Men this one, X-Men that one, Superman this, Superman that. Whereas a graphic novel on the other hand may have a second one, but usually there's like they do it one time, and then it's kind of like it can be like a long form TV show, I guess like an hour form TV show in that case. But I often see them as kind of like movies because it's usually a thicker book, and some of the graphic novels they'll be like 300 pages. I've had I mean, we just talked about Tilda Walton. She has a book. I forgot what it's called, but it's like it's really thick. It's like it's a graphic novel, but it's like that thick. Like usually graphic novels are right here. She's like up here with it, and I have to try to remember what it's called, but it's about this girl in space who goes to this school and she really loves this person, and um, it's it's about um, young love, but like lesbian young love, and I can't remember what the book's called. Tillman. Wait, I'm just gonna look it up real quick. Walden. Uh, oh, on a sunbeam. So yeah, she made the book On a Sunbeam. So On a Sunbeam is about that. And so the book is really thick. So, you know, um don't you don't have to think of lesser of the graphic novels and stuff like that. They're really important, I believe. And they give, like I said, for me who is a visual learner, it helps me out so much. So um what do you mean after this? Oh, I don't know. I may have I don't know what I meant after this. Oh, what are you doing after this? Oh, I got some things to do after this. Sorry. I'll have to get on Overwatch a little later. But yeah, I still gotta clean up the house and do some other things. But yeah, not the whole house because I live with people now. But oh, that's cool. But I'll have to play with them later or something. But yeah, uh, so that should be it for the live stream. Like I said, if you this is recorded, so if you um if anybody who's gonna watch this later, if you like, oh, I forgot to watch it, well, like I said, it'll be recorded on Facebook. YouTube will have it recorded, obviously, and then but unfortunately, Twitch will have it recorded, but only for like a week. So if you're watching this on Twitch, I would, and you want somebody else to watch it later, we're on. Uh, I would tell them to go to the YouTube because YouTube is probably the easiest one because you don't need a what you call it, an email to watch it. You can just get on YouTube, look up Socialist Trans Initiative, and then watch it from there. Um, and then, so like I said, we meet every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Black Cafe and Bookstore. So if you want to come see us and talk with us and meet with us and everything, um, you have that. We also are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you have any questions, you can talk with us there on that. We have a Discord as well. If you want to join the Discord, just message us and we'll put you in. Discord has channels like, our channels that have, um, just basic news. We have our meeting notes in there. We also have like meme and funny jokes. We also have like theory reading, or people who know theory and stuff like that. We also have like group therapy. So it's a great community to be a part of, the Discord community. So if you want to join that, that's great as well. We also, like I said, we also have a resource list for Escambia County, Santa Rosa County, Okaloosa County, and Walton County. So if you need to find a doctor or primary care, HRT care, endocrinologist, and maybe need to find a therapist or anything like that. We have a resource list that you can get help with. Um, I guess another thing that's coming up is Pride. Pride's coming up, so we got 2 more weeks before that. Our Pride, Pensa Pride, will be on the 15th. It will be at the fairgrounds. We are joining up with the Pensa Pride organization on that one. It will be from, I think it's 11 to 6. I want to say. If you are in the Okaloosa area, Strive will be Okaloosa County. Strive will be going to the Okaloosa Pride, which is on June 1st, which is that Saturday. We will be there tabling. So if you want to meet us there, or if you live in that area, live near that area, the Okaloosa area, we'll be there. I said June 1st. So come see us there. I don't think that we're at Control Alt Drag this last Thursday. So if you saw us there, great. Um, we'll try to be tabling at every one of those, which Control Alt Drag is basically just it's a drag show that promotes the up and coming drag performers as well as seasonal drag performers that are there. It's ran by oh, what's their name? It's in top of my head right now. Um I see their face and everything. Oh, I can't remember. Um, Let me look it up real quick. I am so sorry. Hold on. Look at my Facebook real quick. Hold on. Not my screen. Tarot Card. So Tarot Card also runs they are the main one who um runs the run that. So it's at Handlebar usually. They did it at 8 o'clock, but sometimes they do it at 9 o'clock. Like they just did 9 p.m. for this one. So yeah, um, I want to thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Bree for watching the entire time. I love you. Um, they are my Overwatch sleeping yeet buddy. I really appreciate them watching the entire stream. And, you know, uh, please be safe out there. We really love you and everything. Like I said, if you need any help with anything, let us know. And just keep the fight, keep going. We love it. And see you next time.